Isaac Miller. I'm a senior at Preparatory High School, and I'll be presenting to you today a presentation on bullying. So it's about bullying in the media and what you should do about it. First off, bullying is when a person uses intimidation or mean words or gestures or signs to make another person say or do what they want, or to make them sad or feel a certain type of way, or the way that they want to. And there are many places that you can find bullying. It can be bullying here at school. It can be bullying in other public places such as a mall or a restaurant, wherever you go to that's a public place. Even online, maybe it be Facebook, Instagram, whatever you have, or just simply YouTube. YouTube is one of the places that it occurs a lot, and emails as well. And there are many other places. There's one certain place in particular, and it's right there in front of you. You probably watch it every day. Anybody know what it is? There you go. Television shows. Now, which television shows have bullying in them? Name a couple television shows. You.
Cleveland Show.
Sorry?
Cleveland Show.
There you go. Cleveland Show.
American Dad.
There you go. That's another one. Get two more.
Everybody Hates Chris.
There you go. That's a good one. One more. Right there. There you go. Family Guy. Alright. And there are even shows that you wouldn't even expect. There are even kids shows. Y'all know some of these shows too, I'm pretty sure.
Timmy Turner.
Regular shows. This guy is constantly bullying, what's his name, Rick B. He's constantly yelling at him and causing that they might not show pain, but I bet you inside they're feeling very sad. And that can happen right here. It can happen anywhere. You just don't know it. But what you should do is when that happens, stand up. Say the person shouldn't do it. Just stop it right then and there, and it won't lead to any other problems. Another familiar show. Squidward's constantly bullying Patrick and SpongeBob. He's always yelling at them. Whenever they do something, he doesn't like it. And he's always wanting alone time. Maybe Squidward has something himself. Maybe he's sad himself. And maybe he's taking that sadness and throwing it upon someone else. That's another type of bullying. Another familiar show. Fairly Odd Parents. You have Vicky and you have Francis the bully, who's constantly torturing Timmy Turner. Vicky the babysitter. Supposed to be the nicest babysitter in the world, right? Parents are paying her to basically torture their own child, and they don't know about it. And it's happening right there in that home, and the parents don't even know about it. Because whenever Timmy Turner tells the parents about it, they don't want to listen. And that's another problem. And Francis. Timmy Turner's always trying to avoid Francis. But Francis just always comes out of nowhere. I don't know how it happens. But you should not, sometimes it's good to avoid problems, but you shouldn't always just run away from them. You should try to stop them right there, as I said earlier. Stop them then and there, and it won't cause any problems. Another familiar show. This is a really old show, but it shows to you that way back then, they even showed bullying. Angelica's always bullying Tommy and his friends, and even this little kid over here, I don't know what his name is. She's pushed him. That's a physical piece of bullying. Pushing somebody or doing anything to harm them. You shouldn't do that. That's wrong. I don't know if y'all familiar with this show, but I know a couple of us are. He's always hanging out with Helga, and Helga just keeps on bullying him every time. And the kid on the right, him and Arnold kind of have their confrontations back and forth, but on the flip side, when Arnold talks to him, and he's supposed to play a bully role, but when Arnold talks to him, they become the best of friends. So if you just kind of talk to somebody in a friendly tone, maybe you can kind of take their side as well, and there won't be any confrontations at all. What about this show? Now, there's not just bullying happening between these two and the other two groups. It's also happening between the cat and the dog. The cat doesn't like the dog, so when the dog does something that he thinks is fun, the cat torturizes him. Well, he torments him, or he says that whatever he's doing is stupid. Stupid is a mean word, I know. But in this case, that's the reality. And there are even other shows, such as this show, kid shows. This is a show on PBS that's meant to show 6 or 7 year olds. It's supposed to be an educational show for 6-year-olds and 7-year-olds, and yet they have these two bullies and another bully. And the bad thing about this is there are little kids that are watching this, and of course we all know when you see something when you're little, you catch on to it quickly. If a little kid sees this, he's going to turn around and do it to the first person he sees. So this is another thing, is to recognize the bullying and know that it's wrong to do, and to not do it at all. But there are two shows that are very different from all the shows that you have seen previously, and I'll tell you why in a little bit. Looney Tunes. You have Wile E. Coyote and the Roadrunner. Wile E. Coyote is always trying to catch the Roadrunner, but in return, the Roadrunner does something to hurt Wile E. the Coyote. And the other show, Tom and Jerry. Tom tries to put down a mousetrap, and Jerry turns around and puts the mousetrap on Tom's tail. And does anybody here know what these two TV shows share in common? Yeah.
One of them, like the coyote and the cat, are always trying to eat the other one, and then they always end up getting hurt.
That's good.
They always do. It's like the one who's trying to catch them. They always be the one who like get hurt the worst.
That's good. Yeah. In the back. Yeah.
They both are getting hurt. Like, the Roadrunner is hurting Coyote. Coyote is hurting the Roadrunner, and Tom is hurting Jerry. Jerry's hurting Tom.
There you go. That's a good idea. One more. Right there. Yeah. Yeah.
Both of them showing violence. Both of them are showing violence.
There you go. Do you guys know what retaliation is? Retaliation is a sense of revenge. When someone does something to you, and you do something right back to them, that's retaliation. And as you see, how long have these shows been going on, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth? A long while, right? So what's it trying to show you? When somebody does something to you, and you do it back to them, they're going to keep doing it back to you, and it's going to go back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And it's never going to stop, and that's going to cause more problems. So what I'm trying to tell you is that when somebody does something to you, Just let it go. Let it go by you. You let it over your head. Just ignore it and go on with your life. Because when somebody tries to do something to you and you try to do something back to them, you're not only hurting them, but you're hurting yourself as well. You're setting your own self up for being hurt. And that's a really bad thing when it comes to bullying. Any questions? Yeah.
You know, we said that if somebody do something to you, and like, and then you try to get it back, then it's gonna keep going back and forth. But you know, like when you little, and then like your mom or somebody say like somebody hit you, you hit them back.
Your mom says that?
Yeah. Like when you young, like or somebody like they be like if somebody hit you, then you hit them back or something.
Well, your parents can tell you that, but it's not gonna lead to great things in life. So when somebody hits you, what if a lot of poets said? What if a lot of poets said, when somebody hits you, you're the stronger person when you don't hit back. So it makes you a better person, and that's why it's better for you not to retaliate or take revenge upon that person. Yeah.
Like when somebody like keep doing something repeatedly and you tell the teacher, they don't do nothing. Then once you do something, you get in trouble. So like, what you supposed to do then? Like when you tell the teacher and they don't hear you, but when you do something, then they hear you.
Well, that's a good question. I've seen a couple of cases like that too at the high school, but don't just go to the same teacher every time. Just go to a different teacher. See if a different teacher can solve the problem, and if they can't, tell your parents. Your parents, I'm pretty sure your parents would be willing to come up here and discuss that too. But I'm not saying that you should get your parents to come up here and fuss out the teachers for not doing wrong. It's just better for you to make a great effort to stop it instead of you retaliating.
Can I use an example of retaliation?
Yeah.
And we shouldn't use sports related. If you playing basketball, a lot of you out play basketball, you run down the court and player from the other team elbows you. The referee doesn't see it. You're mad. You come right back down the court. Elbows him right back. What I'm saying is, if you continue playing the game and don't try to retaliate, you won't get that foul. The game continues to go on. So you come back and retaliate, referee sees you, you can get thrown out of the game. That guy's still running up and down the court. So retaliation. Like sometimes, anytime you don't need it.
That's right.
When I'm at home, my brother, he can try to pick a fight with me. And then, like, he hit me, and then I don't do nothing back. But then, when I yell at him, or then I call my mama in the room, she always get the switch and burn me with it.
I too have a little brother, and he hits me all the time too. And I don't do anything back.
This is my big friend.
Oh, this your big brother. Well, just well, what y'all teaching these kids? Stay in your own room. Now. Alright. Alright, I'm gonna get 2 more questions. Or none, that's alright. Alright, that's it. Thanks for your participation and your cooperation in my presentation.